I've been pretty skinny most of my life. Even when I started working out almost 4.5 years ago, I was definitely on the leaner side. So I've always wanted to get really big. About 12 months ago, I decided to do just that. Over the course of 6 months, I was able to put on about 25 pounds. The thing is, I got to the point where I was only putting on fat, feeling unhealthy, and getting further away from my goals. Being heavy wasn't what I thought it was going to be. That's when I decided to get shredded again, dropping almost 30 pounds over the next 6 months. Today I'm going to share with you what I learned from moving my weight 50 pounds over the past year and what you can do today to change your weight in either direction. Now, I found that there's two key components that I think are really essential for you gaining or losing weight. No, I'm not going to wait till the end of this video to actually tell you what these are. It's pretty simple in my opinion. IO and an unfair playing field. IO, or inputs and outputs, refers to the calories in or out that you take or expend. Over the past year, when I take in more calories, I gain weight. When I take in less calories than I'm outputting, I lose weight. A bunch of people probably just left this video because that sounds really, really simple. But what's missed on most people is how hard this is to actually execute on, and more importantly, how hard it is to actually execute on consistently. Most of us have no idea what we ate for today. We don't know our inputted calories. If I asked you right now to comment how many calories you've eaten for the day, I bet 99% of you would have no clue. Realistically, you won't account for every calorie that you input without some insane dedication, something that you're only going to see when the stakes are really high, like in professional bodybuilding. Even myself, over the past year, I was not very diligent with tracking my inputs and outputs. The way I went about adjusting my inputs was crude, to say the least. For 6 months, every day, I tried to eat one additional meal. And then for the following 6 months, I tried to subtract one meal. So 6 months of 4 meals, and then 6 months of 2 meals. I used my scale to see if I was on track and then adjusted the portions of those meals according to however I wanted to trend. This is not a high effort way to gain or lose weight. Every once in a while, it did feel a little bit unhealthy. When I felt emaciated or I felt nauseous from eating too much, it was a red flag for me to pull back on how hard I was trying to push my weight in either direction. None of that was too concerning to me. They were just little red flags to know where the limit was for myself. What will work a lot better for you, I guarantee it, and help you learn a lot more, is to spend a day or a week tracking your calories in something like MyFitnessPal. This is something I've done occasionally over my past 4 years of training, and it's always surprised me with how wrong my guesstimations are for how many calories I can eat in a day. Even when estimating or not looking at calorie count at all, just having a list of what you ate for the day is super helpful. Although this concept of IO is really simple, it's definitely difficult to execute on. We've got tools to make it easier to do, and I highly suggest you explore those and make sure you're using them, whether you're trying to push your weight up or down. And just a quick note about a misconception I see all the time. People think that they can up their outputs enough to make up for any inputs that they're bringing in. So the classic, I did a run, burned 300 calories, that means I can have this snack. I highly suggest you go and look at how hard it is to train off 10,000 calories versus how hard it is to eat 10,000 calories. One of those is a much easier task to do, one's much easier to accidentally do. Now let's talk about that second point that I mentioned earlier. Me, you, your mom, your best friend are all on different playing fields. To just add or subtract a meal over the past year might seem completely unimaginable to some, while it wasn't too hard for myself to do it. That's because we all have different norms, emotions, and rituals around food before we even get to your genetics. You're going to be tempted to ignore these factors if you're struggling to get around them. It's straight up uncomfortable to face these and make changes. But instead of ignoring them, I highly encourage you to instead take stock of them. Write down under these 3 categories what your norms are around food. This could be portions, cuisines, meal schedule. Your rituals. Who do you eat with and why? And most importantly, your emotions around food. Do you use eating or lack of eating as a way to make yourself feel better? Without even taking any other actions, just having these written down will give you much better control when you see patterns that you don't like. I know it sucks that we're all on different playing fields, but it's not really up to us to decide. What you do get to decide is what you're going to eat for today. So get out there, get after it. I believe in you, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.